Hi, my name is Alyssa and I draw a lot of Animal Crossing characters. This week's video is the S-name villagers and there's quite a few of them to get through, so they definitely deserve their own standalone video. Next week's video is T, and then after that all the rest of the villagers will be up, so there's U, V, W, Y, Z. There are no X-name villagers yet. Maybe there will be one in New Horizons, we'll see. There are a lot of S-name villagers and I got nothing new to say this week, so let's get right into the sketches. First up is Sally. Her name is now Callie, but I switched it up because the villager that's now named, or used to be named Sally, got changed to Hazel. I think that's where the confusion is. So the other Sally I have under Hazel. A guy on Reddit was concerned I had skipped his favorite Callie, and I assured him no, I just put her under her original name, Sally. So here she is. Next is Samson, and I always like drawing these little mice because I have fun drawing like the really big ears on them and the kind of cheesy smile on this guy, just to make him look a little different from the other mice I've already drawn. I love their little beady eyes too. Sandy is interesting because she was in the Japan-only version of the game, I think, and then she didn't come back until New Leaf, so quite a hiatus. Maybe she'll be back in New Horizons? And I really like the proportions of the legs to the body, how they came out with her. I've kind of had fun making the legs like chunkier at the bottom on the ostriches and seeing how that works and how that feels, and I'm pretty happy with how it looks, even though it's a little disproportionate. I think it is in like a really fun way. Next is Savannah, and she is so cute. I know, I think I say at the end of this video, I can't remember because I'm recording out of order, but I think I mentioned I want only like really brightly colored characters for my island, and that may change. I may want more of a natural vibe, but I'm kind of in a bright color phase. But Savannah is so cute, and she doesn't really fit in with any of my aesthetics that I want to go for in New Horizons, but she's really adorable, and if she shows up on my island, I will not kick her out, so just wanted to compliment this really cute villager. Next is Scoot, and he makes me sad that I haven't been drawing props with all the villagers, because I think it would be cute to have him like pedaling his way on a little scooter with his little helmet on for safety, you know? I think it would be a cute picture. Maybe I'll draw that way in the future after I've drawn all these. Next is Shari, and I think of all the monkey characters, she is probably my favorite of all the monkey villagers because she's really cute. I like her little pink cheeks, I like the shirt that they gave her, and then to top it all off, I really like the yellow feet and the little yellow on the tail because it reminds me of like a little yellow raincoat, you know, and little rain boots to go stomping around in puddles in. So I think she's adorable. Next is Sheldon, and I had a little fun with him. I've been having fun with the jock villagers toward the end of the alphabet, like giving them more excitable jock poses or making them kind of like mean jocks. Like the jock personality type is kind of fun to draw in a way that I didn't really expect, but you know, I wanted him to be cheering on his home team, whatever that may be. The squirrels, go squirrels! Next is Shep, and I wanted to do a nice job with him because not only do I think he's a really cute dog design with the fur covering his eyes, he's a really cool laid-back character, but I have a friend of mine whose son is named Shep, so I wanted to do a good job because it's kind of a name that I know in real life, so I always want to put a little extra love into those villagers. Next is Sheena. Sorry if I'm butchering this name in the next. I had never heard of them. I think they were only in the Japanese-only Animal Crossing, or perhaps they were beta test. I'm not sure which of the two, but I had certainly never heard of them. But very interesting looking duck. Next is another interesting looking bird, and I just opened a new tab to see, and yes, he was a Japan-only e-reader villager, which is probably why I haven't seen him or any of the other really old looking villagers like this. They were e-reader exclusive, so the more you know. Next is Simon, and I think he's pretty interesting because he's a lazy personality type, which is why I gave him such a lazy scratching his back just waking up kind of pose. But he has that really vibrant bright orange and blue color scheme, so I kind of find it funny that his colors are so intense, but his personality is so laid back and lazy. Next up is Skye, really adorable wolf. Now that I think of it, I think all the wolves are pretty cute. I'm trying to rack my brain for any that were kind of weird looking. Like, I don't think there's any barreled level wolves among the wolves, but of the wolves that I can remember off the top of my head, Skye has one of my favorite color schemes. I love the puffy white cloud type of marking and the light baby blue kind of color, robin's egg blue almost color. She's just really cute, and I loved drawing her. Her shirt also kind of matches, so bonus points for that. Next is Sly, and for half a second I kind of wanted to draw just his reference pose because I thought it was cute, but I thought I'd do just like a really happy, proud little, he's just really proud of something he did kind of smile on his face. I don't know, I think he came out alright. And I really like his camo shirt, how it goes with his kind of markings and stuff. I think that's a good choice for clothing for him. It'll be interesting to see how different the clothing choices are in New Horizons and how much better a lot of them already look from the renders we've gotten. Huge upgrade and wardrobe for everyone. Next is Snake, and I can't remember clearly, but I think this is more or less the same pose that I gave to Rizzo in the R, or rather my boyfriend helped me with, but I really like this kind of sideways ninja sneaky pose, and it really suited Snake, so I went with it. Next is Snooty, and her reference image here looks a little different because I almost skipped her and then had to go back in and draw her at the end, so kudos to me for not skipping Snooty in the S Villager video. Next is Soleil. I really like her color scheme, and I especially really like her little haircut, which I imagine to be kind of like a pixie cut if she was like a person, And I always find it fun when they give the cheeks a different color than pink. It's almost like a cockatiel with orange cheeks or some kind of marking instead of like blush, Next is Sparrow, and even though his reference he looks kind of like shocked, I think it's just because he has all that black around his eyes, so I kind of wanted to see if I could soften up his eye look a little bit, make him look a little more pleasant, a little more cheerful, because I didn't want him to just look like Jitters with a different color scheme, so hopefully I gave him a much more cheerful, upbeat sort of appearance in his face. Spike, it just occurred to me, maybe a football thing, because like his little scar kind of looks like lines on a football. I don't know, maybe I'm reading too far into that, but he definitely looks footballish, but I think he's really cool anyway. Next is Spork, and I'm not sure why he's named Spork, but he's a cool cat. I like his little teeny tiny little sunglasses, kind of a beatnik look going on. He looks pretty chill. Sprinkle, super cute. I'm still mad at her because she never moved into my town in New Leaf, which would have matched my winter aesthetic that I was going for perfectly, but that's okay. We'll still be friends if she shows up on my island anyway. Because I mean, look at her, she's so cute. Next is Sprocket. This was the name of the robot ostrich I was trying to remember last week, wasn't it? Well, yeah, who's making these robot villagers? Between him and the robot frog? Who's making these robots? I demand answers. Next is Static, and can I just say I love his shade of purple with that like light green pop. I think that's a really fun, fresh color scheme. It's very like summery. I don't know. I just dig it, and I think he's really cool. One of the cooler color schemes for squirrels in my opinion. I'm going to use Stella as an excuse to ask what you guys think about the sheep wearing sweaters instead of scarves in New Horizons. I'm not totally crazy about it yet, but what do you guys think? I think the scarves kind of suit them better, honestly. Next is Sterling, and I think I've said this over and over, but I really like when they have a cohesive like wardrobe and kind of character that they're going for. These ones that are in costume, be it, medieval costume or superhero costume, racer costume, whatever. So I love this guy. I think he's awesome, and I had a lot of fun drawing him. Love all those details on the shirt, the belt buckles, and all that.
So I looked up Stinky real quick on the Wikipedia. I was wondering why his name was Stinky. I guess it's because his luchador mask is supposedly like underwear on his head, which kind of makes more sense. Because I wondered why was his name Stinky when he's just like a luchador, but I guess that answers it. That would be Stinky. Next, the fan favorite, my favorite of the S names, Stitches, and I'm really hoping I get him in my New Horizons town, or my New Horizons island rather, because I really love his color scheme. Those colors are kind of my vibe this year. I really like the bold, garish, like 90s color block kind of thing, and I love his little star shirt. He's adorable, and I really need him on my island, so please come visit, Stitches. Next is Stu, which I think suits him. He reminds me of Stu from Rugrats, you know, when he's making pudding at 3 a.m. because he's lost control of his life. So I think that's kind of appropriate for him. He's got that vibe too. Next is Tsui, who was either in a Japan exclusive or beta test. Regardless, she's not in the games anymore, but shout out to her name for being a cute pun. This is what Animal Crossing is all about, is cute puns. Love it. Next is Sunny, and this is the one that was in the Twitter post that was going around. It's like, don't call, don't text, they took this frog out of the game, and I agree. Put Sunny back in New Horizons. You know, Sun, Island, it just fits. Next is Sven. I don't know if those are just his eyebrows covering his eyes or what, but that's how I interpreted them, and then a mustache and a beard. I don't know if that's correct, but it's what I went with, and I kind of like it, so we're rolling with it. Shout out to Sydney for having a really great overall color scheme. Not only does she have the super sweet little blushy pink cheeks, but I love that they gave her a complementary color shirt. Yellow goes so well with purple. It's like peanut butter and jelly. So yeah, really loved her overall vibe here. Nearly done with the S's now. This is Silvana. I love these big eyes. They remind me of like the trend in children's book illustration right now is very like large black pupils with no, you know, no glints on the eye. Very trendy little squirrel. Last but not least is Sylvia, and with that flowery dress, she looks like she's all ready to set sail for an island vacation, so maybe we will see her on my island in New Horizons. I'm really curious who my starting villagers are going to be. What would you guys want for your starting villagers? Let me know in the comments. I need Stitches, give me Stitches! And as usual, I'm going in and adding all the colors really quickly from the various personality-based color palettes up on the top of the screen, bending where I need to. Like if there isn't a blue in one of the color palettes, I have to, you know, bend it to make a blue so it fits. And I'm kind of thinking I want to do one color palette for all New Horizons characters when I get to that series, like one kind of pastel color palette that goes for all the villagers instead of personalities. I think that's what I'm going to do.
That does it for the S-name villagers. Who are your favorite and least favorite S-name villagers? My favorite S villager is also, I think, the fan favorite, Stitches. I think he's adorable. And in New Horizons, I really want to focus on having a bunch of really brightly colored characters because that's kind of the vibe I have this year is like primary colors, really garish in your face, like orange, purple, and green, and Stitches definitely fits in there with this color palette alone. What about you guys? Do you choose your villagers based on their visual aesthetic like I do, or do you gravitate more to certain personalities, or do you have sentimental reasons for liking certain villagers, or do you just kind of deal with whoever you're given and you just kind of build a town around them and don't really mind who comes and goes? I think that would be really fascinating to find a player who's like that. Because I feel like the more hardcore Animal Crossing players, if there is such a thing, definitely gravitate to having a cohesive aesthetic in their town more than just kind of rolling with whoever they get and wherever they put their house. So let me know in the comments how you choose your villagers, or if you just let them choose you. That about does it for this week's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day.